Welcome to Spooky History. Today's episode is a little bit different. It was originally produced and uploaded to my personal channel, The Magic and Macabre World of Ash Pryce. This topic is more along the lines of the bizarre, the strange, the urban legend, the weird, than it is supernatural or paranormal. But I thought you fine folks here at Spooky History would find it interesting nonetheless. So sit back, relax, and let's learn about the Hungarian Suicide Song. Content warning, obviously. Music is one of the most powerful, emotive, and important inventions of all time. It can unite people in ways other things can't. I've been looking for freedom. At a football match, songs can ring from the stands as supporters unite to show solidarity and rejoice in their team's successes. Those in comas have been played music to try and break through. Couples have their song. A movie can be made or broken by its soundtrack. As Shakespeare said, if music be the food of love, play on. We have music to drive to, music to watch girls go by to, music to exercise to, and in the 1930s, we had music to kill yourself to. I refer to a piece of music known as Gloomy Sunday, or the Suicide Song as it has become widely known. We need to set the scene. To do this, we must travel back to pre-war Budapest, and to a Hungarian poet by the name of Laszlo Havor. Havor had recently broken up with his girlfriend and was devastated. Instead of moving on and finding love elsewhere, he decided he could best deal with the breakup by writing a poem. The poem was Shojmaru Vajanap. I've probably got the pronunciation completely wrong. It was a two-stanza piece with the title repeated as a sort of bridge, but something was missing. Poetry was fine, but Havor needed something else. He needed music, and luckily for him, one of his friends happened to be a pretty unsuccessful but talented composer. This is the part of the story where we introduce Mr. Retso Seres. Seres was also from Budapest and spent much of his life living in poverty, until his friend asked him to compose music to his poem. Seres jumped at the chance and wrote a haunting melody to complement the lyrics, and Gloomy Sunday, as it was known in English, became an international hit. Shortly after the release of the music, people started dying, killing themselves. Seres himself is even said to have taken his own life shortly after completion of the track. The sheet music was found with suicides nearby. People had killed themselves after hearing the song on the radio, an occurrence so common that the BBC banned the song from their airwaves until recently. No mechanism has ever been suggested as to how or why the song was a killer, but despite Havor writing the lyrics, it is Seres's name that is always associated with the song. So how much of the urban legend is true? How many people did the song lead to suicide? Was it really banned by the BBC, and did its composer throw himself to his death shortly after? As with all urban legends, the reality has been mixed, so much with fiction it is sometimes difficult to pull apart. But let's have a look, shall we? Seres did indeed kill himself after writing the music. 35 years after he wrote the music. Seres's emotional state had been affected by the song as much as he felt he could never better it, and could never produce anything that would stand side by side with Gloomy Sunday. What about the 17 suicides in Hungary? That's pretty easy. Gloomy Sunday was a hugely successful song, especially in Hungary. Hungary also is ranked number 10 in suicide rates, and that has been rising since the 1950s. Before that, it appears the suicide rate was still pretty high, with a dip in the early 50s before heading back up again. So it's a case of mixing up correlation with causation. High suicide rate plus popular music equals proof positive that the song is killing. Apparently. Again, the other deaths are simply correlation with no causation. There are no suicide notes which I'm aware of that states the song led anyone to kill themselves. Considering the feeling that the song conveys, it doesn't seem too unlikely that it could be the type of song that those contemplating suicide might listen to. But there is no evidence anyone took their own lives because of the song. So we cannot possibly say the song is responsible for deaths. So why did the BBC ban it? It seems likely that it was due to censorship more than anything else. It wasn't even the original version that was banned. In 1941, Billie Holiday recorded a version with new lyrics. Although the original lyrics are pretty depressing, they don't contain any mention of suicide directly. Instead, it is suggested but could also be read as being a metaphor for loss. The Holiday lyrics, however, do contain direct references to suicide. For example, "Angels have no thought of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you? Gloomy as Sunday, with shadows I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. It is hardly surprising that Britain in 1940s decided these lyrics were not really appropriate and not very good for morale. Apparently there was some minor conflict going on at the time, and London was getting nightly visits from some chap called Jerry. The BBC banning the song with those lyrics is not very surprising. It's a very risque song even for today, never mind the stiff upper-lipped Blitz Brits of the 1940s. Try saying that 5 times fast. The song has never directly been linked to a death, in much the same way as Marilyn Manson was demonised after the Columbine, so Reza's Gloomy Sunday received the same treatment. The original piece is truly amazing, but it isn't easy finding recordings with the original lyrics, though an early English recording does exist if you dig. I hope you enjoyed that slightly different episode of Spooky History. You can find us on most social media at Spooky Hist Show. If you want to, you can make donations to us at paypal.me/noisyghostend. Thanks for watching, and please do have nightmares. Goodbye.